All right, thanks, Delano. We're featuring an author tonight who encourages her readers to come to terms with their hair and beauty. We want to welcome Michelle Roseman. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Sarah.
And you're the author of, it's called Hairlooms,
Yes.
The Untangled Truth About Loving Your Natural Hair and Beauty.
Yes.
Wonderful. So first, tell us a little bit about yourself and how this idea came to be.
Well, I'm a writer by trade, and my specialties to date have been technical writing and a lot of writing in the health and social sciences arena. But after I decided to not use chemicals in my hair, there was a shift, and I decided to chronicle my journey from wearing my hair in a way that I was more comfortable with a way that was more natural. And so that's really what prompted me to write Hairlooms, sort of the journey to fully embracing myself as it relates to my hair and beauty.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about, the title is kind of a play on words, Hairloom.
Right. Well, with Hairlooms, and you caught it, especially during this time of year, you have a lot of family heirlooms where you have grandmother's biscuits, they're great, or you have your family stuffing that's excellent. And these are things that are passed down that keep the family line alive and fresh. Similarly, as it relates to our hair and beauty, there are words, there are code words, and things that we do that sort of punctuate family lines and even in our professional circles, and they actually shape the way Black women feel about their hair and beauty, thus heirlooms.
Excellent. So what are readers going to discover here when they read this book?
Well, it's going to be an interesting read. It chronicles my journey, as I said, to really fully embracing myself. But the neat thing about Hairlooms is that it also takes a look at 32 other stories of people as well who have had a similar journey. So they're going to be able to see things that they can relate to as relates to the struggles of loving their hair and beauty. They also have do-it-yourself tips for really coming to terms with who they are and how they look. And also they will find some anecdotes that will be very helpful along their journey.
Can you tell us what some of the hairlooms are in the book?
Oh, sure. Some people that you know very well. I had an opportunity to interview Dr. Maya Angelou before she transitioned. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Nicole Ari Parker, you've seen her in a lot of Hollywood shows. Kim Coles as well. So those are just a few of the people that I was able to interview. Also, there's some cancer survivors that tell really striking stories of how at one point hair and beauty meant so much to them until they were at the brink of death. And they had a completely different perspective that focused more on what was on the inside versus what the world could see on the outside.
Yeah, so that kind of leads me to my next question is what are some of the more difficult aspects in this book that might be, you know, as you just mentioned, cancer, is it fitness, is it emotions, finances?
That's a great question, Sarah. I think it really depends on where a person is in their journey. I have found that when I was in my 20s, it was more important for me to focus on the outside, but as I got older, then I would focus more, let's say, on fitness and things of that nature. So it really is going to depend on how the reader is reading the book and also how open they are to change in and of themselves. So there's not a particular answer. I think it depends on how open an individual is to dealing with some of the more deep issues in their lives.
Okay, great. So why should Black women embrace where they are at this present moment?
And it's so important. And not just for today, but really for tomorrow. All of us, whether professional or personal circles, we're always passing the torch to someone else. Someone passed the torch to us to get to where we are. And similarly, I believe that as we embrace who we are, the next generation has a better footing for a brighter future. So that's why it's so important for us today.
Excellent. So why, what, I guess, was the most important part for you in the book?
I would say the most important part was really beginning to unravel some truths about myself. I, for the most part, thought that I was pretty confident until, again, I let go of the chemical and I found myself really grappling with how I looked. And so the untangling, really being able to unravel and get to some root issues, that was most important because hair and beauty can come and go, but how you really feel about yourself and your true essence is what's going to last and take you throughout life. So that was the most important part for me, really untangling those deep things and finding root causes and solutions.
Excellent. So before we're going to put up some information on the screen here, but we also want to mention you're the sister-in-law of one of our colleagues here, Raven. Amazing. Awesome. Yay, so the book is available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Target, Facebook. You're on Facebook, Twitter, at Michelle T. Roseman, and Instagram as well.
Yes, and just to clarify, the book can be pre-ordered now. It's actually going to be available in stores in February, but please, you can go ahead online and pre-order, and you can visit my website as well and check out my weekly blog that I have, hairloomsthebook.com.
I was going to say it would be a great holiday gift, but you can pre-order it.
Yes, you can.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
More information is on our website. Just go to WBTV.com and look in the Web Extras section. Delano?
All right.